go ahead and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Merriman.
Here.
Mr. Mattern.
Here.
Dr. Scarpone.
Present.
Fiscal officer not here. Solicitor Jake Lynn, absence. Mayor Mike Petrola.
Present.
Administrator Mr. Kasegi.
Present.
Mr. DeStefano.
Here.
Mr. Spence here. And Mrs. Dameron is absent.
Everybody, tonight we're going to do a moment of silence and then the pledge and then another moment of silence if everyone could remain standing for the victims of 9/11. So at this time, please stand for a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone.
Can I get a motion to appoint Randy Spence as administrator and/or clerk for this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay.
All right. Moving on to our minutes. If everyone get a chance to read over our last meeting, September 7th, 2023. Then we can get a motion to approve the minutes from our last council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay.
All right. Is there anyone wishing to speak before council this evening? Okay. Moving on, we have one resolution tonight. I will, since our solicitor is not here, I will read that. It is Resolution 2023-65, a resolution authorizing Mayor Mike Petrola to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs and to execute contracts as required. What this is a resolution for next year's to start submitting Caddis Road for OPWC grant programs for funding for paving.
I'll make a motion to accept Resolution 2023-65.
So moved.
Is this, I think
Where's
it's,
it at?
Does it have to be in by the end of the year?
It has to be in
By the end of the month.
by the end of the month. We make an emergency that we can get it rolling.
so we'll need a motion to,
Suspend the rules.
Yeah, let me finish this one off. Mr. Merriman.
yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay. That was the first read. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 2023-65, authorizing Mayor Mike Petrola to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay. Can I get a motion to accept Resolution 2023-65?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence, yay.
Thank you, council. All right, moving on to our announcements this evening. First, we would like to wish Gabby Buchanan a big congratulations. She was Indian Creek's homecoming queen. Congratulations, Gabby. Next announcement, September 29th and 30th, Friday and Saturday, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be students, hopefully from Indian Creek and the Christian school, will be finishing painting the mural on Caddis Road. If anybody would like to volunteer, please just show up in your paint clothes, and I'm sure we can all use the help. Next up, we have the Wintersville Fire Department Gun Bash. Will be Saturday, October 7th at St. Florian Hall. Doors open at 12 o'clock. Our hydrant flushing, this happens twice a year for the EPA requirements. This is the big one where we do every hydrant in the village. That will be coming up starting Sunday night, October 15th, running through Friday morning, October 20th. So no one be alarmed if they see any water out in the road. We will be flushing all the hydrants in the village. Wintersville Trick or Treat will be Saturday, October 28th from 5 to 7 p.m. Again, we coordinated this with Steubenville, Toronto, and other communities so everyone can stay safe. Council, myself, Chief Vanderborn has asked us to kind of switch up tradition. We don't usually get a lot of kids that come by the village building that night. So to switch up tradition a little bit, he asked, and everyone's welcome, and you as well, Jesse, if any of us are free, everyone can ride in a cruiser next to a police officer to help hand out candy while they patrol trick or treat. So if anybody is interested, please talk to Chief, and we can all go with in a cruiser for that night.
I've never been in a front seat. What about you?
Be a little switch up, huh?
Yeah, it's a little different.
Next, our leaf pickup will be the first 3 Mondays in November, November 6th, 13th, and 20th. Please push your leaves to the curb or the ditch line, not in the actual road. Also, I know we had a couple people mention this. We do not come onto your yard and rake all your leaves up. We do not do that. So just to clarify that ahead of time, we do not actually come rake your leaves. Farther down the road, we have the winter weekend, the second year. That'll be Saturday and Sunday, December 2nd and 3rd. I will get everyone some more details once those are finalized. Our parade will be Sunday, December 3rd at 4 p.m. If anyone is interested in having a float or a band or anything in the parade, please contact the village building and ask for Tammy. I believe that is it on the announcements. All right, we will move on to reports and communications. Mr. Lockhart.
One second. Thank you, Mayor. Robert Lockhart, your representative to various organizations. Tonight I'll be talking about my attendance to the Steel Valley Regional Trustees Board. That was at 4:30 this afternoon. I'll make it as much as I can brief. Ridership overall has continued to improve. It's 18.7% over the same period last year, which is good. The bus service is still rendering good financially. They're in good shape. Maintenance program, only issues are the fuel costs. Extremely high this year, over and above budgeted from last year. And there's going to be adjustments with regard to the budget to meet those costs at this time. Tires and sundry items also is exceeded last year's budget, but hopefully their maintenance department is going to be in a position to take care of that this year without any increases in the pay. The budget, the board was presented a draft from the audit firm that has been hired by Steel Valley. It's rather extensive in scope, but overall, the draft indicates that the operation of the Steel Valley is very good. Findings very, very limited, almost negative with regard to its operation. So that's good, and the board accepted the draft for review at this time, at this meeting. Health insurance offered to the union people, the maintenance department, and Steel Valley Administrative was accepted this year. And the board passed the information with regard to acceptance of these three entities, and it will be formally voted on at the next meeting. It's been a benefit with regard to the health insurance from the previous year. There was an increase, but I think overall the people accepted this fact of the increase, and they could maintain the same relationships they have with their local doctors or hospitals or whatever the case. So it was Blue Cross Blue Shield was the program that they accepted. Adams Street location with regard to the grant was approved by the state of Ohio as a result for the examination of the underground content of that property. The bids have gone out to the various entities in the area here, and pending review October 18. Hopefully, it'll be within reason and within the confines of the grant from the state of Ohio to get that project completed. The website continues to be an issue on the part of easy to use an organization and being represented by Rose Orsini, and she's been in contact with eMedia, trying to get this thing completed this year as quick as possible. Pardon me here, I just came, it's the third meeting for the village today, so
You're staying busy.
try not to get this thing done. As far as the there has been an effort on the part of the administration to acquire a bus cleaning operation for the service, for the bus service. And a bid was received and accepted tonight for a bus washing apparatus to be installed in the current location. So that's a benefit to the maintenance keeping and to the public, keep the bus service up in good shape. Other than that, I just can't recall anything else. Any questions at all? Thanks.
You should have been
Thank
with, Jesse and I were sleeping all day. You should, we didn't get you caught up. Thank you, Mr. Lockhart. We appreciate all your effort and having all these meetings all day, very much.
The other meeting, I went to BHJ, but I'll give you that next week.
That's fine. We appreciate you very much. Thank you. Charlene?
Good afternoon, Mayor, board members, council
Hello.
members. We had a meeting a couple hours ago, SVRTA, and we had a guest that came to the meeting, and she was from Gateway Community College, and she came and she thanked SVRTA for giving transportation for some students on projects that were offered, how they faithfully would pick the students up and faithfully would take them back home. And she really praised SVRTA for it. We thought that was great. And then Jerry, the transportation director, he spoke on how money will have to be moved around due to expensive tires, gas, mechanic functions, and the board motion to pass it. And then Jerry also spoke on the travels to Robertson Township. And some of us didn't realize it. He said they go 6 times a day, Monday through Friday, start beginning at 3:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And on Saturdays, they go 5 times a day, 4:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And then they take a little break, and then they go start back on Saturday at 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And I says, well, I added, could they cut back? Maybe they would help. And he says, right now they cannot possibly cut back because the ridership has doubled. So things like that are happening, but all in all, SVRTA, they're doing good as possible. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. All right. Moving on to the mayor's report. Myself, our administrator, Jesse, we met with Jim Mavromatis of Steubenville, their city manager, and Jimmy Jenkins, who runs their water department. So we had a discussion with them, about possibly opening up the pump house again, which used to be used. It's kind of old in there. We spoke to our engineers, we're going to start to evaluate this of how we can help each other get that up and running. A lot more, it's probably going to be on our end because that's where the pump house actually is. But it's a benefit to both communities that they were definitely willing to help. It's something we're even going to bring the county in on, because even if, God forbid, if Richmond runs out of water from the county and if Steubenville pumps extra water at us and we pump it out to Richmond to help those people, it's what's the word? What's the best word for that? Regionalization?
Regionalization.
Yeah. So Jesse's going to be looking at different grants, everybody kind of collaborating together. Basically, we know everyone's got water issues everywhere. And it's mainly so people in an emergency situation, we have a way to get some type of water. Wintersville's kind of like an island. If you think about it, we only have one source of water. And if something happens where, like we just saw, the tank or county can't pump us enough, something like that, it's just an emergency situation. And same with Steubenville, and same with even helping out the county on their end. So we did start that process, meeting with them, and they were all for it. So we're going to continue looking at that with our engineers, and Jesse's looking into possible grants with the EPA and a few things. Next for council, we need to renew a renewal for the body cameras for their memory and storage for our police department. This is from September of this year, 2023, through September of 2024. The exact amount is $3,931.96. So I'm asking council for a motion to approve no more than $4,000 for the police department to take money from the general fund. This was something I think came from a grant.
I can explain. So in 2019, we worked on a grant with through the USDA to buy all new body cameras, and we got a police cruiser out of it. I think it was like an $87,000 grant. And in this grant with the body cam, it was a 3-year contract for memory. So we bought new body cams, all the hardware, all the software, 3 years of memory. We paid it all up front through the grant. Fast forward, it's due. But what Axon did for us is got us till the end of the year. Because if we don't pay it, everything that the police department has, it's gone. So we can't. They have the best software for retention of for body cameras. So what's going to happen is now for the next 5 years, the chief will budget so much money, every year for the next 5 years for the cameras. So this was something that we did, and we paid for it once, and now we're at the end, and we didn't know. We thought it was going to be 2024 when I did the grant in 2019. So that's why they're working with us to just get us to the next year, and everything will be fine. It'll all be in the budget.
Jesse, is it just year by year? You can't do it like 3 years or something? Is that the only option we got?
It's a 3-year or a 5-year contract, but you can pay yearly, so you don't have to pay a lot of money up front. So it'll be a 5-year contract it'll be $8,000 a year next year for the next 5 years. So, but this year will get us it'll just be $4,000, and I might be wrong on that, but it's $4,000 for 2023 to 2024, and then $8,000 a year after.
So you're just asking for not to exceed 4,000 at this point?
Correct.
Yes.
I'll put forth that motion, not to exceed 4,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob, you second? Yes, Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. I have one more question on that. Is that all off-site storage that is what this concerns? That's all it is, right?
Yes, yeah. Yep.
And it's, if we need to if we need to retrieve this data, there's nothing extra. That's part of.
Yep. Yeah, they can retrieve it through the cloud, through encrypted, and they can get it anytime they need it. And I believe it's been a couple years, but they'll download it, they'll save it, they'll do what they need to do for court if they need it a certain way or whatever. But yeah, the officer can look at it immediately.
Was there any? Do you know what the retention period is for our data?
That I don't know. I know it's in their policy on so many days or weeks.
No, he's not here.
He's not
Okay.
here.
I'll ask him later. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next update, we did have a quick meeting about the water meter project. As we all know, it has to be completed by the end of this year, December 31st. Core and Main is aware of that. They're going to be here. The installer will be here, 1 to 2 of them, 12 hours a day, at least 5 days a week, 7 if necessary, to start. They should be starting within the next week or two, hopefully. And the letters will start to go out to citizens to line up, times and dates when citizens are home and available to let them in to switch over the meters. So everyone be on the lookout in the mail for your letters, and that project's going to be getting started here with the install part of it very soon. Next, we got a young couple come and see Jesse and I to speak on a lot that they own on Cara Place. They want to build a brand new house there. The issue is we have a right-of-way of, I believe it's 60 feet across and at least 100 to 200 down to our lift station. Jesse and I drove down there. we went over the property. What they're asking for is, could we possibly swap land? Let them take that 60 feet this way, and we take it on the left side of their property so that they have more flat ground to build on. The right side of the place, I guess their architect said, is much better to build on the right side. And we would just take our right-of-way over to the left of their property instead and build our road to the lift station on the left.
So I can elaborate on that. So it's 60 feet, which was going to be a road at one time. We don't need 60 feet. The village does not need 60 feet. All we need required is 20 feet. So I talked to the future new homeowner and property owner today, and I asked her, I was like, would you want the right side to be down to 20 feet or the left side? And she said, we'd like to have the left side as the right-of-way, as the village's right-of-way to the lift station. The lift station is down over the hill. I said, okay. I said, well, that's going to involve some resurveying, some deed work, and some surveying with John McDivitt on our side. So first thing we did was we asked Teddy Chewich, do you have a problem with that? He's like, no. He says, but the gates are on the right side of the lift station as you go down the hill. I said, okay. So if we take that 60 feet out, move it to the left side of just 20 feet is all we need, which is that's what most easements are in right-of-ways for our villages, 20 feet, 25 feet. If we could just build a road down that way, that would be fine. Because there is a road, but it's not, it's just, we had to use four-wheel drive to get down, to get back up. But it's one of the newer lift stations. Teddy didn't have a problem with it. I didn't see a problem with it after I looked at everything, pending that we can build a road down there to get there, with no problem, which we're looking at it. There shouldn't be an issue at all. It all kind of goes the same way, coming around the right side or the left side. You're just kind of coming in, but we'd have to come in behind or in front of the lift station to get to the gates. So I'm going to talk with John McDivitt about it tomorrow. I will see him, and then we can go to the legal side and see what we have to do. They're going to be building soon. They got the land, they purchased it, and then they're going to be building as soon as everything else gets done. So if that's the case, and everything does work out and we do proceed with it, then whoever is doing the excavating, I will try to have a meeting with him. Maybe we could get a price to see what it costs, since he's there, to put a road in and to get things moving. But I just want to bring that up to council first before we proceed.
Is there a house to the left of them?
There is, yes, there is. Well, no, there's another lot. There's a house to the right of them.
But the access road is still going to remain on their property and not somebody else's parcel.
Correct. It will remain on their property. So
They'd be giving up 60 feet on the right of their property. They'd be swapping, basically.
right, and they're actually going to gain 40 feet of property because we don't need 60 feet.
And they're not infringing on anybody else's parcel?
No, it would be 20 feet. They'll have their 40 feet of land because we don't need it. All we need is 20 to 25 by ordinance, and then make a road down there. And like I said, the right side is better than the left for the property owner. And I said, well, the first person we talked to was Teddy Chewich. And I said, if you have a problem, then we won't. He's like, I have no problem, but we just got to find out this road. The access road down there, because the road it's you can call it a road. There's some gravel and there's some grass, but you need a four-wheel drive to get out, and that's in the summer. So probably would benefit from this to build a road with more of a base on it, and it's a newer lift station. So,
And just so everybody's aware, Teddy's in charge of
sewer,
the sewer department, and his team will be accessing that.
correct.
Okay.
But I just wanted to start here and see what we have to do to move on and on the legal side and make sure it's good there. And then after that, we can start surveying. They're going to have a cost of surveying, and we'll have a cost as well to redo the deed and the easement right away.
Jesse, when you do get legal involved, just ask them if we have to get our zoning board or variance board involved with that, if there is a change on that?
Correct, absolutely, will do.
All right. Well, that is it for my report. On to the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, so real quickly, when the mayor was talking about the water issue with Steubenville, the state of Ohio is pushing for a regionalization of water. And there is a lot of funding out there, and we could possibly get this done. Talking with Mr. Mavromatis, he was going to look into the federal side of it, more on that. And like I said, this could be a good thing for everybody, because water is a commodity and we need it, and everybody needs it. So if we can help somebody to get it to where it needs to be, with our water tank issue that we had in Steubenville, had on the west end, we do whatever we can do to help them. We're all in. So and adding on the water meter project, so they're going to have to averaging about 150 meters a week are going to have to be put in to get to the deadline of December 31st, and they know that. We'll have our water department, along with the Newman Company from Pennsylvania, who's going to be putting in the meters. Everybody's going to know exactly what's happening. You'll get letters in the mail. You can call us. We'll know more. When you know something, we'll know it, and hopefully we'll know it before you so we can pass it on. So there's going to be a lot of things happening. So the paving project for 2023, the bid opening was yesterday. Was it Tuesday? Or was it? It's Tuesday. Tuesday, I'm sorry. It was Tuesday. It was 9/19 at 10 o'clock at the Village of Wintersville building. Quicksall Engineering was the one that did the bid opening and advertisement. So the bidders that were there were Cast and Baker Corp., Barbicas Construction, and NLS Paving. So Cast and Baker gave a bid of $443,725.30. Barbicas Construction out of Akron gave a bid of $365,982. NLS Paving was $347,847.00. Those three people did the bids. The lowest was Barbicas at $365,982.
That number was wrong on
Yeah, it's
NLS.
Yeah.
347 of them.
NLS was actually $376,825.
Sorry, I made a mistake.
Typo. Sorry.
I apologize. So those were the three people that bid on the job, and the lowest was Barbicas.
So we need a motion to accept the bid.
Yes, and the recommendation from Quicksall did come from Barbicas. They did, as a low bidder, and they did, they've had worked with them before, and they do recommend their work. And they did have 100% of the bond. So I do have a list, and I do have a recommendation from Quicksall on them.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid of $365,982 for the paving project this year of 2023 for Rex, Russell, and Day Circle. Can I get a second?
Second.
There's a couple more streets too. I know what you're saying though.
Okay.
It's going to be Rex, Russell, Day Circle, Woodridge, the second half of Woodridge, past Eisenhower, Simpson, Patton, and Marshall. 7 streets.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, what was the thickness on that? Was it all the same?
2-inch one?
Yeah, well, no, it's not all the same. Each road's going to be different. We're going to have 2-inch to 3 inches in spots on Patton Avenue. It's going to be a 2-inch base. It's going to be 2 inches, and then on Patton there's going to be some 3 inches because Patton's got some major problems. So you're looking at 2-inch to 3-inch throughout the roads that are getting paved.
Any more questions?
That's all. Thank you.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
When do they plan to start?
We couldn't speak to them until you guys accepted
Okay.
the bid and got the recommendation. I think Jesse plans to call them tomorrow. Hopefully ASAP. We have a lot of projects going on, so we're gonna need all hands on deck. We're gonna have a meeting with our guys. We have a few catch basins need fixed before they get here, a few manholes. We were driving around a ditch line on Marshall that needs, repaired. And then we also have some curbs we gotta fix with concrete once probably do that before they get here, or once they mill it, try to get in here.
What was the date on the bid to finish the project?
November 15th. Right.
So when the first bid came out, it was like 1.5 inch pavement, which was not going to work. It just wasn't going to hold up. So they did a 2-inch planning and milling. There's 3-inch in some spots. There's going to be a partial depth repair, pavement repair. You're going to have some surface asphalt at 2-inch, some surface coarse asphalt at 1.5 inches. You're going to have some curb replacements, some adding of asphalt curbs, some mobilization. So they went back and redid it for us, plus the cost went up. So that's kind of where we're at right now with those 7 roads. So once I find out tomorrow, you're going to see a bunch of things happening on these roads because we have to replace, as you said, some catch basins, some cement curbs need redone. They've been asphalted over, which is causing water issues in people's yards. So, and you're also going to see asphalt curbs being installed as well on Day Circle and on Rex Avenue. So I was down there the other day with MA Concrete, getting some prices on some concrete that we do have to replace. And I'm going to find out, because we're down to the wire because of the fact that we were contingent on getting this project, and you get awarded in December of the year before. Well, we weren't awarded till June because somebody dropped off of the 12 projects. We were number 13 and somebody dropped off and we got on at the last minute, which was good. So we're scrambling to get some work done, and then paving's only open so long because of the cold weather. So that's where we're at, but we're going to hustle and get it done. So you'll be seeing the street department for the next couple weeks, depending on when they're going to start wanting to do this. My goal is to have this milled down first and to give us some time, because that will expose the concrete. It will expose the concrete curbs, the catch basins, and we're going to have to lift, like the mayor said, we have to lift a couple manholes. So hopefully we can get a little bit of time to get that done. So we're going to get it done. So sanitation. So the sanitation bid was with Kimball. Was the only one, was a contract that we're going to be starting if we do get them from November 1st of 2023 to October 31st of 2026. It's a 3-year contract.
2026, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a typo.
I did a typo on that. And Kimball is here tonight if anybody has any questions or anything. It's a 3-year contract, and they will also do spring cleanup. They will haul our garbage away as well for that.
Jesse, I think we reviewed this contract last meeting, and I made mention that, Kimball's a legit company, and, by them showing up 2 meetings in a row, they have a commitment here.
Right.
I looked at the rates. I think I made mention it only went up like $2 a ton in years 2, 3, 2 and 3. So that's very reasonable. I don't think there was a fuel surcharge attached to that. So I think that's exceptional as well. I would have no problem entering that agreement, that contract that we had before us last week. So I'll make that motion.
Second.
Also, it's cheaper for the roll-offs too, correct?
Yeah, I think it was a couple dollars more for spring cleanup, but yeah, all in all, it's a,
Saving.
yeah, it's a good contract.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
All right. Moving on to sewer. We had a meeting at the wastewater treatment plant on Monday, September 18th. In attendance was Teddy from Wastewater, Quicksell Engineering, ProTech, Mayor Petrella, Village Administrator Kasegi, Councilwoman Scarpone, and Jimmy Jenkins, who was the operator of record for the wastewater. This issue is with the SCADA system and the high flow that's coming into the plant. This was the three-phase project for an evaluation on what we could do to curb some of the high flow. So they're up with the SCADA system. They're going to do some more reads, and with the EQ tanks that we still have from the lift stations, we'll be able to use some of that to hopefully curb the problem, not have to build anything more. There's more information on the sewer, and we'll get into that later on. But the meeting was a good meeting, and we kind of come up with some ideas on the flow, and hopefully we can see what we can do to save some money in the future, seeing that we have $6 million in debt with sewer projects, but I will get into that later as well. I'll have a report on that from what we gathered. All right, so 2024 paving project, it's due in October, and we will be notified in December if we get it or not. Myself and John McDivitt in Quicksall have been working on Caddis Road, which is going to be our project for next year. We were out today getting some measurements. Also today we were out doing sidewalk markings for sidewalk repair. This project is a separate project from the paving project. It's through ODOT's TAP, which is a transportation alternative program, which will add sidewalks, repair sidewalks. It's for transportation alternatives. So myself and John were out today for a few hours getting measurements on Caddis Road sidewalks. As you know, the sidewalks on Caddis Road at the intersections are not ADA compliant, so that will have to be done. That should not be an issue. Under the TAP program, ODOT will fund 95% of the total cost of the concrete, and the village will do 5%. So this year, we'll put the application in. Next year, they will do the awards, and I believe 25, 26 is when they'll do the construction. So this is a yearly construction. So next year, we can apply for Main Street or Canton Road. Canton Road is also a state route that has no sidewalks on it. That might be a candidate. So that's something that we can do yearly. The third project in that, and the mayor's going to talk a little bit more about this with Caddis Road, is AEP has a underground cable project where they take overhead power lines and they bury them and get rid of the power poles. But he will talk about that. He talked with Frank Baldwin from AEP and got some information about that.
So as Jesse said, I had that meeting with AAP a while back, and one of the big things I mentioned to Frank, you go to other cities in Ohio or across the country, a lot of people, don't have ugly telephone poles hanging around and lines falling, lines are lowered. So we were discussing a possibility of starting to move the village where our electric is underground, like other cities, and AEP is obviously all for it because they spend a lot of money cutting back trees. Trees cause their biggest outages everywhere. And being it's underground, that would be another phase to try to get all our utilities repaired and underground. Obviously, we know we got water issues coming up, but it's something to look into the future, and obviously we're doing Caddis Road. So I was speaking to him, he's gonna work up a rough cost analysis of different things of how we could get the electric moved underground on that portion to start. And he's working on a list of different grants. There's grants out there, from what he said, for this, again, because of outages and also because you're not cutting back so many trees in the environment. So just something looking at towards the future here of just trying to clean the place up a little bit more and helping with everybody's electrical. Obviously, it's a lot safer when it's underground as well. So hopefully, next coming weeks, we'll have a little bit, I'll have another meeting with Frank and get you guys a cost analysis on that as well.
So to add to that, Cara Place in our village is the only subdivision that has no power lines. All theirs are underground. So when you drive down there, it's kind of nice. You don't see any power lines. One more thing on Ferta and Morrow with the paving. I did talk to the owner that owns all the property on Chapel Hill, Bruce. And I did send letters out to Chapel Hill. He does live up there, and he was interested in maybe having his road paved as well or brought into the village. The holdup is a legal side on how we're going to legally be able to bring those 3 roads into the village. I have more information on that. I'm getting more research done on it, and the solicitor as well, on the best way to do this and the best option to be able to move forward with this. But I'm still working on it. So that's all I have for now. What's that? What for the
Difference.
Yeah. So for the one thing, for the 2023 paving, since the road is more expensive from the original cost, we need a cost of, I didn't write it down. So the difference is $92,408 from what the original cost was a year ago. And we do have ARPA funds in that for paving that we could use and be okay with it. With what the original bid was for the 1.5-inch pavement, for more things that need to be done, being that it was a year ago, with the costs that have gone up to 2 inches, that would be on top of what we have contributed. That's the difference. Approximately $92,408 is what we would need to complete this project, and we do have it. If council would be okay to approve the move of that ARPA funds for paving to these 7 streets.
What was the balance on the ARPA fund?
Balance is $362,731.34.
And this is the first time we've tapped into that to use it.
Correct.
Yes.
Again, we did get grant money for the streets, but we all know cost of everything has gone up drastically between fuel, asphalt, employees. So you can tell these bids are not, they're not small.
I don't have a problem with those ARPA funds being used. Do you have to put them in a special account? This is a.
Yeah, tonight we just want to get a motion from you guys just to get this moving, just so we can tell them we have enough. When Jesse speaks to them tomorrow, I mean, they know we have enough because we do have, I believe, with our match and the grant we have $273,574 going towards this project, but obviously the bids came in much, much higher.
And you said we had what, 362,731?
Yep, and 34 cents.
I'm with you. I found the line item. Listen, I don't have an issue putting forth that motion to move forward, pulling that money from the ARPA funds for that road project.
I'll second. Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
I got,
Thank you, council. Oh, shit.
I'm going to bring this up tonight about paving Caddis Road. Just give
Yeah.
yeah. So I did get an email today. One more thing.
Sorry, we're bouncing all over here. But back to the paving.
Right.
Next year.
Next year's paving. I just got something at 2:22 p.m. from Quicksall. I talked with Katie from Quicksall. So right now, the project for Caddis Road, the 1 mile, is going to be $750,000 to pave. The grant will be $299,000. This is if we get approved. The loan out of that, which 39% of the $750,000 will be the grant, $299,000. 30% is $225,000, which would be a loan between 10 and 15 years. Our local share to put us at the best possible point for points would be, our local share would be $226,000 for next year. That's what she came up with, because it's all based on points. And if we can get to that, that will put us in a good spot. Guaranteed? No, it's not guaranteed. But with those funds and what we need to put up, we could get this done next year. So I want to discuss it with you first. That's what, we have some time to think about it. We're working on budgets now, but I'm just putting it out there for everybody to think about. And then when it does come to that time, we'll have to sign papers that we will have that money set aside, and then by Christmas, we will know if we got the project or not for next year. But I'll have more information on the next council meeting.
And just to be clear, the $750,000 is just their estimate, correct?
Yes.
All right.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Jesse. Moving on to unfinished business.
Has the state gotten back to us yet for the completion of last year's audit?
I did email the auditor regarding when our closeout would be. I have not got a response from the auditor as of yet. I sent that out on, I believe, Monday.
A couple things. We had an ordinance last meeting, 22361, to get rid of the dump truck and trailer. Do we still have those? Are they gone?
Yeah, we still have them. We got to put a bid out for that, and we will do that.
And I'd like to make a comment on, I'm glad that we're reaching out to Steubenville for the possibility to use their water. I think that it brings us closer to them. If they need something, we can work with them and vice versa.
To feather off of that, I had a comment written down too. To partner with our local communities is just good for all involved. Access to water is key, is absolutely key. And to work well with your partners in Richmond and Mavi and Mr. Mavromatis downtown, that's just smart business and good for every resident involved. So I hope we continue that path, looking at this partnership moving forward.
Anybody else for unfinished business?
I have a question with the sewer. So it looks like they don't have to put in another overflow tank?
No,
Possibly.
that's the goal. That's the
Okay.
ultimate goal on that, to divert some of the overflow to the EQ tanks that we still have that are totally fine. Yes, you are right.
Okay. It's good to hear.
Anybody else for unfinished business? All right, moving on to new business.
Bob didn't mention it, but we had a Seven Ranges meeting on the 13th, and this was the first meeting with the Island Creek board members, and both of those board members were very excited to be there. They asked for some very interesting questions, and they even asked about the upcoming levy and how's it going to get promoted. I'm sure that there'll be some kind of levy promotion after the gun bash on October 7th. Coming up for the November election, but it was a very good first meeting with the Island Creek members coming on board. Something else that was mentioned during the meeting by Kathy was the attorney for Seven Ranges, Chip Comstock, has been talking to Jake about that agreement. So it's, probably best solicitor to solicitor talk there to clarify any questions that Jake may have. It's, you're going through me and Bob. I mean, it's better off going through lawyer to lawyer than it is going through us because they, lawyers speak. So that's really all I had. It was a good Seven Ranges meeting last 13th September, especially with Island Creek coming in.
I wanted to bring up, if we could think about some type of backup plan for our solicitor. Like say he's out for an extended amount of time. We have a lot of documents that need reviewed. We're coming up on, we got dates, end of the year. We have questions for him. We have a lot of things going on. I was just wondering, would it be possible to solicit another solicitor to cover for him when he's not here? I mean,
I think it's not an appointment of an actual solicitor. I think it would just be giving Jesse or I the authority to go and get some extra legal counsel immediately when somebody's, when they're medically incapacitated at the
Right.
moment. The village has to keep rolling, whether that person's here, whether I'm here, whether Jesse's here, whether the chief of police is here. The village has to keep moving for the next, whoever's next in line. And it should be the same with our legal counsel as well.
so would that be a finance meeting that we would have to talk about? Because it would be bringing somebody else on board if we have to.
Well, that would be like, it would just be like as needed or whatever. If we could, and we can later pass it as an ordinance or something, but if it would give it the ability to, if somebody's incapacitated or whatever, and we got something that needs to be answered, I can make the phone call to whomever we would decide. It doesn't have to be a certain anybody. It could be somebody from Columbus or whatever to say, we need an answer for something like this, or it just, and it doesn't have to be the same attorney. Now, if the solicitor has partners in his firm, then the partners can come and sit. I don't believe Jake has a partner. He's just starting out on his own. So until that point is if we, can call somebody, it can be whoever. If it's just, we need some advice, we can't be stuck. And if I'm not here, he's here. If he's not here, Randy, you're there. And if if the chief of police isn't here, Captain Fabian can step in. So that's something we just don't have for the solicitor. We need legal counsel at times. I mean, we may not, but we can have it if we need it.
I just wanted to throw it out there for a plan B.
So wouldn't you have to have a legal contract, though, for a PRN solicitor for the insurance purposes?
And we can. I did mention it to Jake about about the situation if we would need somebody as a backup, and I'm going to talk with him next week. Just what we need to do, whatever ordinance or whatever we need to do to move forward, just in case something happens. That's all.
And it'll be comparable rates, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have to.
And they would obviously have to follow Ohio Revised Code.
Right.
Because attorneys, if they're working for us, they're limited to what they're allowed to do within village limits on other lawsuits, I guess to say.
Jesse, you sent out an email a while ago. There was a name in there that you was asking, just putting feelers out. Did Jake give any recommendations of who may be able to fill in for him, or where are we at with this kind of? We're just putting out feelers at this point still?
No, right. We're just putting out feelers, and like I said, I haven't sat face to face with him, but I did when I did text with him when he was going to be out. I said, okay. I said we might need to have somebody temporary, just because I'm just thinking ahead, like it's got to keep going if something happens, or we got to be, with what's going on at the hospital and in the school, if somebody's got to be there, what do we do, or with other things, and I'm just thinking ahead. And he was like, okay, no problem. But he's going to come in, I believe, next week and just meet with us, our 1 hour meeting that we have, or however so, and then just get his input on it and say, this is what we need to do. So if he has somebody that he recommends, great, it's not a problem. I have somebody that's interested, it's not a problem. It could be anybody, whatever. nobody's held at anything, you know. It would just be somebody who would come in, you know, send us their resume and their recommendations and, you know, their compensation and what they want and just go from there, so.
We have to safeguard the community.
Yeah.
This is the right path.
Yep.
One last thing, make sure letters go out for all the paving, so we can get the residents to get their cars off the streets.
Randy, I thought you just want to go with the finance meeting. You want to plan one after? We could discuss after their meeting with Jake too, or?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. And I believe,
We should be working on budgets as well.
yeah, because Melanie was going to be joining us in one of them.
Yeah,
Emily's-
25th, she's available, if you guys are available.
That's Tuesday.
You said the 25th of September?
That's Monday,
That's
right?
Monday.
It's Monday.
Monday.
Next week.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So that's before, wait a minute. That will be before your meeting with Jake, right?
Yeah.
Is she flexible for meeting after that, or like,
Maybe, I'll have to see some days.
Do it on the before next meeting.
budget meeting may go long, though.
I'm saying the day before, or like the last time we did on Tuesday.
We could do the
Third.
20th, I mean, or we do the 25th, I mean, we can figure out.
We can do another
Jake- we
one.
can, yeah, I was gonna say, we can talk to Jake after that, but we still need to have the budget meetings.
All right, so we plan on a finance meeting.
If you guys are all available, I mean, more so up to everybody's schedule.
Whatever you guys schedule. I mean, I'm pretty flexible.
September 25th, 2023, Monday at 6 o'clock.
Works for me.
Anybody else under new business? Nobody's got anything else? All right. There are no transfers. You guys will see all the fund statuses and appropriations in your packets. Payment of the bills is in there. All right, if there's no questions on the bills, then we just need a motion to adjourn.
Do we have to approve the bills for payment?
Yes, we should make a motion.
I'll put forth a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Mr. Mattern?
Other than an abstention on 49347, yay?
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
Thank you, Jason. Now, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Mr. Mattern?
yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
Our next meeting will be Thursday, October 5th, 2023 at 7 PM. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.